This is how to properly set up your microscope. Get your microscope and hold it with two hands, one on the arm and one on the base. Put it down on your bench, gently. Next, take off your cover, plug in your microscope. The cord is wound up around the back. Also, when you plug it in, make sure that the plug that you are using actually works. Sometimes there might be a faulty plug and not a faulty microscope at hand. The next thing you want to do before you turn the microscope on is to turn the nose piece so that the oculars are facing your direction. You're going to turn this little screw right here, as he just did, before you turn it to loosen it, and then to position the nose piece, you want to clamp it closed by twisting it again. You never want to twist the nose piece without first loosening the screw to make sure that you do not strip out the threads on the screw. This will destroy the microscope over time. So any turning needs to take place when it's nice and loose. This is a Leica microscope used in all classrooms at HCC. I'm going to go over the lenses with you. These are the ocular lenses, and they are always at 10x magnification. So when you look through those lenses, anything you observe will be 10 times larger than in real life. The next set of lenses are the objective lenses. The objective lenses are on a revolving nose piece, so you can twist the nose piece gently to observe the lenses. When you get your microscope out, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you are at the lowest power objective lens, and that will be the 4x lens, which has a red bar across the bottom of it, and it says 4x on the lens. It's also the largest distance away from the stage. We call this the working distance. The 4x lens has a nickname. It's called a scanning lens, and that is because most work that you do with a microscope will be on higher power lenses, but this is the lens that you're most likely to find your specimen, so it's called a scanning lens. The next lens is a 10x objective lens, and it has a yellow stripe on the bottom, so anything you observe through that lens is going to be 10 times larger. You multiply the objective lens times the ocular lens to get the total magnification. So if we are looking through the 10x objective lens through the 10x ocular lenses, we would do 10 times 10 equals 100 total magnification. The 10x lens is referred to as low power. Even though it's not the lowest magnification possible, that's the nickname for it. 10x would be low power. High power is the 40x lens. It has a blue stripe on the bottom. So to get total magnification of using the 40x lens, we would multiply 40 times 10 equals 400. Now the oil immersion lens, we won't click that one into place, but we will point it out for you. That is the one with the shortest working distance. Unless you are doing a technique called oil immersion, which is the only time you would use that lens, you should not use the 100x lens. Not only should you not use it, you should not click past it. The reason is because the 100x lens has the shortest working distance between the stage and the lens. And so if you click past that lens when you're not actually using it, you will scratch your slide and or break it and or break the lens. These lenses cost upwards of $100 a piece, so actually they can be about $1,000 a piece depending on the manufacturer. So we want to take great care to take care of these 100x lenses. So if you're not using the lens, I like to explain the nose piece as kind of like a steering wheel. You want to spin it in one direction, and then when you're finished, you want to turn it back the other direction, just like if you were completing a turn when you're driving. But you just simply would not go past the 100x lens at all. When you start using the microscope, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're at low power. The person before you might have left it at a different lens, and you want to always put it in low power, just so that we're sure not to scratch anything when we get ready. The next couple buttons you need to learn are the fine focus and the coarse focus. The fine focus is the smaller knob, and the coarse focus is the larger knob, and they are located on both sides of the Leica microscopes. So they would be here and here. So you can control them with both of your hands. The coarse focus is only used under scanning power, so under the 4X. These microscopes are called parfocal, and what parfocal means is that if you focus something under one of the lenses, then it should focus properly under all of the lenses as you move closer to the specimen. To turn on the microscope, turn the knob on the left side until it illuminates. The brightness is controlled by the dial of the power switch. So to turn on the light, you roll the switch towards you, and as you continue to roll it towards you, it increases the brightness of the light. You want to be careful when you turn on your microscope initially, because the person who used it before you might have left the brightness on pretty high. So you don't want to look through the ocular lenses and blind yourself. So make sure that your light is cut back when you begin on the lowest power. This is the condenser. It is underneath the stage. It collects the light coming from the light source at the bottom of the microscope and collects it and condenses it and passes it through the specimen on the stage up through the objective lens. If you happen to use your microscope and you notice that the condenser is down, you can move it up into this position by turning this knob very gently. This is the iris diaphragm. It controls the amount of light passing through the specimen. As you increase in magnification, you're going to need to increase the amount of light passing through the specimen so you can see it clearly. The numbers on the dial correspond to the objective lenses that you're using. Right now it's set on 4X. As you increase your magnification to 10X, turn this dial so it matches up to 10X. As you increase your magnification to 40X, turn the dial so it lines up with 40X. If you use oil immersion, you're going to need the most light, so you would turn this up to 100X. If you're not using oil immersion, you don't need to open the diaphragm this large, but just keep an eye on where the numbers are. And as you watch the light intensity as it changes while I move the iris diaphragm open and close. So high and low. Low corresponds to low magnification, and open or high corresponds to high magnification. Next, put your slide on your stage by pulling back the clip, moving your slide into position, and gently releasing the clip. This is what a correctly positioned slide looks like. Now, to position your slide, first thing you want to do is put your stage in the highest position while you have your 4X lens in position. Any other lens doing this will scratch them. So you have your scanning in place, you put your stage in the highest position. Next you want to use these dials here on the bottom. I call them Etch-a-Sketch dials because they work just like Etch-a-Sketch. One of the dials moves the stage left and right, and the other dial moves the stage up and down, or away from and towards you. Okay? So we haven't even looked through the ocular lenses yet. We're still just manipulating the outside parts of the microscope. The next thing you want to do is take a look at where your slide is. Right now the slide is not even above the light. So we're going to use the Etch-a-Sketch controls, and we're going to position our slide so that you can actually see the specimen illuminated with the light that's passing through. When you have your slide in the correct position, illuminated by the light below, and you have your stage in the highest position, and you have your 4X objective lens all in place, now it is time to look through your microscope and see if you can see anything. First, you're going to use the coarse focus and slowly move the stage down until you start to see something. When you see something, then you're going to use the fine focus to make small adjustments. As you notice, the coarse focus moves the stage in large increments. Fine focus moves the stage in fine increments. Then when you see something, you can feel free to advance to the next objective lens. The next lens would be the 10X, or low power. From this point on, since the microscope is parfocal, as we discussed before, you should be able to see your specimen by only making fine-tune adjustments with the fine focus. When you're ready, you can move up to the 40x. Again, making small adjustments with the fine focus. In this class, this is the highest we will go. So when you are finished observing your specimen, you would then turn your objectives down in the direction from which they came. So first to 10x and then to 4x. The proper way to remove your specimen from the stage is to first lower the stage. We do this to prevent scratching the lens against the glass when we're removing the, and then you want to go ahead and pull the clip and take the specimen off the stage. To clean your microscope, always use optical lens paper, not Kim wipes or paper towels. Kim wipes or paper towels will scratch the lenses, and optical lens paper is made especially for cleaning objective lenses. So you want to take a little bit of microscope cleaner and you want to put it on the lens paper, just a little bit. And gently wipe the lenses. This is especially helpful if you're not able to view your specimen because maybe the person before did not properly clean the microscope after using oil immersion. You don't need a whole lot. You also may want to clean your ocular lenses if they're dusty, or if you're concerned about other people using the microscope before you. This is a troubleshooting technique if you're having trouble seeing something at all in the microscope and you keep seeing a reflection of your eyelashes. Sit far away from the microscope and slowly bring your eyes to the optical lenses very, very slowly until you can see something. Here's another troubleshooting tip. If you can't see anything in your microscope, your lens might not be properly clicked into position. So simply try to click it. If you hear that sound, that means that your objective lens is properly clicked into position. If you're not seeing anything at all, any light coming through, the first thing you want to do is check your light source. If it's still not coming through, you want to check your actual plug and make sure your microscope is plugged in and make sure that the plug is actually turned on or working. We have had cases where some of the plugs don't work. When you're ready to put your microscope away, make sure that your stage is lowered to the lowest position. Your objective lenses are changed to the lowest power, or 4x. Your light is turned off. Unplug your microscope and wind the cord up properly. The next thing you'll do is go ahead and unscrew the screw on the side. Turn the nose piece around. We do this so that the microscope will fit in the cabinet, and then tighten the screw. Tight but not too tight. Then you want to replace your cover